Hey everyone, Connie here from The Painted Photographer. This week we're doing a flippin' frenzy. So what that means is I'm part of Sonnet's Garden Blooms membership group. And in that membership group, she teaches us how to do things that are gonna make your business stronger and reach more people, reach more audiences, get on YouTube, get on Facebook. We have a lot of fun in that group. I absolutely love it. It was the best decision I made 2 years ago now. So I have been in this group for 2 years and it is so fun. We go live during our Zoom calls and I can see other people's faces and talk to them. So a flippin' frenzy is something we decided to do where you take items that are in your hoard, stash, inventory, and you send them to another person and then they have to flip them. I got my items from Lisa. So let me show you what Lisa sent me. She sent me a nice, sweet little note. And then she, in my box, had this. It is like, I don't know what that's made out of. It's like concrete, but it looks like an old-fashioned ice cream pail, a very, very small one. So I think it's really cute. It's got a handle on it. We're gonna do something fun with this. We're gonna make this over. This was good. Next, she sent me this candle holder. It's kind of modern, not really my thing, but I think she wanted to challenge me, and she did a really good job because this might be a bit of a challenge, but we're going to figure out what to do with it. She knows I like glass. This one has a nice leaf pattern on the top. It is big. I think we can do something fun with this. So let's paint this. And maybe we're gonna put a few transfers on here. A gingerbread man. What, Lisa? What are you trying to do to me? She sends me a gingerbread man. So I don't know. Help me guys. What do I do with a gingerbread man? And then last, she sends me some Ladybug napkin ring holders. Some Ladybug napkin ring holders. This is a holiday flippin' frenzy. I don't know if we're gonna be able to stick these into a holiday video, but we're gonna try. There's a whole handful here. We're gonna try and make these holiday. I just gotta get a little Connie, don't sleep at night brain power to figure out what to do with them. All right, follow along. We'll see what I do with these items because right now, I'm not sure. Lisa, be nice. See you at the end.
First up is this jar that Lisa sent, and I do like to make over glass jars, so this project was not intimidating for me at all. I went and took the jar and mixed up a little bit of olive sweet Pickens milk paint, equal parts water to the paint powder, and then I added some salt wash into the milk paint. I had never done this before. I did it on a live on a board, and I thought I loved the extra texture that it had. Even though the salt wash doesn't mix into the paint like it does for a chalk paint, you still get a little bit extra thickness to it. So it dried, and I still wasn't happy. I wanted a little bit more coverage, and I also wanted a little bit more grunge and texture. So this is what I did. I took the bottle and I painted the second coat. Then I took some dry salt wash and I sprinkled it over the top of the wet paint. And then I misted it with my water bottle and let that sit and dry. And so then when I came back in with antique ironstone milk paint, I just painted right over top of all the dry chunks of salt wash. And it didn't crackle, but when you use milk paint, you can kind of force it to crack a little bit by adding some water to it. So I added water and then I heat dried the water, and you can see it does kind of crackle a little bit. And then I went in with a finger sander and just sanded off some of those chunks that were already started, and sanded off some other areas. That area right there is the only one that came through to the glass jar. Otherwise, it just came through to either the powdered salt wash or the chunks of milk paint that are below the powdered wash. So, Salvation Solution is a great method for sealing up a glass or ceramic item. It really has some good protection. Especially, I wanted to put a transfer on here, so I knew I needed some really good protection so that my transfer didn't lift the paint off. I am using the Partridge Lane transfer. I am obsessed with this transfer. I don't know if anyone else is, but these houses just have my heart. I can't stop thinking every project I see, I want to put these houses on it. So I went ahead and I taped all these little houses to the bottom of the jar, trying to figure out the planning, the placing that I needed them at. And then I went ahead and used the IOD stick to transfer the images onto the jar. And this Salvation Solution, it is a clear solution, so it dries perfectly clear, and it is such a hard finish, and I just absolutely love the results of this Salvation Solution over top to put a transfer on. I've never used it as a finish coat over my project. I've always used it underneath the project, the paint. So this worked fabulous. I had no uplifting of that transfer whatsoever, and everything came off like a dream. And you still have all that chunky milk paint goodness that you can see that old olive underneath the antique ironstone, and the transfers just come off so fabulous. I can't get over this. And I have Salvation Solution back in stock if you don't have any. It really is a must have in your crafting stash. They were out for a while and I was really, really sad. So I have it back. Now make sure you burnish your transfer and getting all those little air bubbles and anything else off. And you can finish watching this process and let me know what you think of this project.
Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday.
I did finish it up with some DIY dark wax. Since I did have the Salvation Solution already on the bottle, I had no need to put clear wax on first. The Salvation Solution was going to do the job of the sealer. And I put it on the bottom thinking I didn't know if I wanted that antique look throughout the whole jar. Oh, yes, I did. It gave that jar such an old look. This project was so fun.
Letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories.
For this next project, Lisa sent me this bucket. It is like a concrete bucket. I am using the DIY mixology kit. It has sea glass and mint chip in it, which are two colors that when you see those old ice cream buckets, that's the colors that they are. So I went ahead and gave this bucket a coat of mint chip and then the sea glass right over the top of the wet paint and kind of blended the two colors together. I put some on my brush and then just blended it in, leaving some of the brush strokes just because I did like that look. So now, after it was dried with two coats of the blending of the two colors together, I went and distressed it back to the original look. Now, this project was really simple to do. I went in with some clear DIY wax first, and then I put some warm dust on it. The warm dust is another project that makes your items look really, really old, and you just put it over top of clear wax and it kind of melts into the wax. And then when you distress it back, it gives it that old, rusty kind of vintage look. And in this area here was a big deep crevice, so I made sure that I got it stuck into that deep crevice. For the next project, we're going to use this gingerbread man. He really stumped me, Lisa. He's cute, but I think this one little eye on him makes him look a little evil. So I had to figure out how to get rid of that eye, and the only way that I could do that was to mix up some of this paint and make my own gingerbread color and paint over the entire thing. So using some of the colors from the mixology kit, I made my own gingerbread color with cowgirl coral, flirtatious, weathered wood, and I don't think I put any liquid sunshine in there. I just found the color that would go really well, and since it was cloth, I did mist it so that it would like dye the fabric versus paint on top of it. I still wanted it to be a bit soft and have that fabric look to it. We're going to use the DIY making powder. This is Old Flame, and you can just dust it on, giving your project some fun, jolly little cheeks. And then we're going to add the face and everything to this gingerbread man, and you can find out if you like the results at the end.
I've been wrapping presents for you. I've been hanging marbles in the tree. And I've lit my house with Christmas lights. So you should come back home to me. And when we wake up in the morning, I'm gonna play those carols that you love. We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how
I gave him a coat of clear wax just to soften him up and make his colors come just through a little bit deeper. And then he was finished, and I could finish what my plan was. I had this frayed ribbon. You can find it on Amazon. I'll give you the affiliate link below. And I cut it to have a smaller, skinnier strip. And I just tied a bow around his little neck. And then he was all ready for the plan to go into the ice cream bucket.
making our Christmas memories? Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, la da da da, oh, 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 la da da da, making our Christmas memories.
For my next project, it was this modern looking candle holder, and I knew I needed to do something to make it look holidayish. So we're gonna take the IOD winter foliage mold that is just this release. If you do not have this mold, it is amazing. I love this holly right here. I've used it several times, and it does. I don't have any luck when I use the air dry clay I can get it out of the mold, but by the time I get it onto my project, it does bust up a little bit, which I am perfectly fine with that. But its stems are really skinny, and I'm fine with it busting up. So I purposely busted it up. I think you could have more results if you used resin on this mold, but I needed this one to curve around this candle base, so I just let it bust up and then I just pieced it together. So then you can just make your own design. I'm using the tacky glue and putting it onto the entire mold and laying it back down. I do give the mold a coat of paint while it is still wet because I do want it to dry a little bit slower because then it has less cracking. So I'm going to use the mint chip out of this mixology kit and paint the entire black end of that mold in mint chip, and then it'll dry a little bit slower and have results of less cracking. I dry brushed with white swan over top of the entire mold to try and bring out some of the details in that mold. And I was happy with this, but not really. Like it didn't scream holidayish to me. So I went and sealed it with some Sweet Pickens top coat. This is a good top coat to use over top of your projects. It is clear, it dries clear, and stays clear, and it is very tough it's a very tough surface. And so I used that, and then I went in after that was dried with some DIY paint in Eden and Carnival Red and kind of made it more holiday-ish and finished it up with the actual colors.
For today, it comes to say that Christmas is on its merry way, and for every single child, there's a gift on Santa's sleigh. The first flake of snow is said to fall today. The first snow this winter is promised for this day. It brings a hope of peace, both near and far away. It says we can live together and that we can find a way. The first snow this Christmas is promised for this day.
This was my biggest challenge, these ladybugs. Since this was a holiday video, I really struggled with what to do with these ladybugs for a holiday video. So I got them all untangled. I even tore off legs and antennas and backings, trying to see them in a different way. And this one kind of stood up like an easel. I thought, okay, what can I do with that? Nothing. Still looks like a ladybug without any legs. And then this one, I tore it apart thinking I could make an ornament out of him. Nope, still looks like a ladybug without any legs. So we have two that, yep, didn't work. So we're going to paint the ladybugs exactly the way that they are. We're just going to make them more holiday-ish looking. So I used the white swan and painted 2 coats of white over top of the backs of these ladybugs, and then took my carnival red and made them look like candy. A little clear wax to finish them off, and then some dark dust that I'm going to use to blend into the wax and just give them more of an aged kind of look. I like them a little bit more aged versus clean. And then I found a jar, painted it in the mint chip, added a transfer, and these ladybugs were ready for their display.
I've got a mistletoe in my hand, and the boys are lining up for my kisses are for one special guy. He's a dreamboat of a man, my own sweet buttercup. I'm just so revved up by his presence. So let this mistletoe moment be that brand new start.
What did you think? So, this ice cream bucket with that gingerbread man is probably one of my favorites. Like, I really like the way that looked. However, the ladybugs, what a challenge, but they're super cute. And the jar with the houses, oh, it doesn't get any better than that. Look at all that texture. Oh, I just love it. Pick yourself up some salt wash, some milk paint, and a Salvation Solution. I didn't have Salvation Solution to put on first, but if I'm doing glass, my favorite thing to do is to put the Salvation Solution on first before I paint it. It gives your paint something to grip to. Put it on just clear right over top of the glass, and then let it dry, go in with your paint. I did have good results without it, but I'd have had even better with it. Lisa from Gypsy Woman Charm, you gave me a challenge. I have to say, you gave me a challenge, and I like the results. Thank you for sending me that box of treasures. It was really enjoyable. Everybody, this is a playlist for Sonnet's group. We're called the Flippin' Frenzy, and we're doing a holiday version. Hop on over, watch the playlist. It's down below, and we're here to inspire you to what can you do with some junk, because some of the pieces I probably wouldn't have picked up myself, but I absolutely love them. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy painting.